Now we are going to read the story that I wrote with Andy Lewis. It was super fun to write, and now I'm going to read my story. It's called The Egg. Chapter 1. One cloudy day, a girl named Khaleesi was walking down a muggy street when she saw an op shop, so Khaleesi walked in. The store was dark, gloomy and creepy. The lights were also flickering. The shopkeeper's badge read David. Khaleesi thought this shop was really creepy, but she still kept on walking. In the shop, Khaleesi saw a man. Khaleesi said, "Hi, what's your name?" to be friendly, but all the man said was, "My identity is secret, but if I were you, I wouldn't buy anything from the shop. And if I was you, I would run and run until I couldn't see the shop no more."
What will Khaleesi do?
Read on the next chapter to find out.
Khaleesi thought the man was probably talking rubbish. So, Khaleesi kept on walking through the shop. But the one thing Khaleesi wanted to know was his name.
Then Khaleesi saw a golden egg. She thought that it would be a great piece for her dinner table, so she bought the egg. It was $20, cheap for a mantle ornament, thought Khaleesi. Then Khaleesi went home and unwrapped the egg out of its newspaper. The next day she woke up. She looked at the clock. It was 7 a.m. So she thought to herself, "I should get up." Khaleesi got out of bed. She walked into the dining room and she saw
the egg. It was changing colours and glowing. Khaleesi ran to the light switch to turn it on, but when she turned the light switch on, the egg stopped glowing and changing colour.
It started making funny noises, so Khaleesi called her best friend, Hannah, to come help. 20 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. It was Hannah. Hannah told Khaleesi, "Keep it in a cupboard and lock the cupboard."
Then we can go to the library and find out what it is.
2.5 hours later, Khaleesi and Hannah found out what was in the egg. It was a fire-breathing dragon. Khaleesi thought it would be awesome because she would have a pet dragon and would breathe fire to protect her, and she could steal money and gold.
Then she kept reading on and found a way to hatch her egg. She had to take the egg to a very, very high mountain with lots of snow to hatch that special fire-breathing dragon.
So Khaleesi went with Hannah to the mountains to hatch the egg. It was a really, really long journey to the mountains, but they made it.
They hatched the egg, and the egg had the most beautiful dragon inside. It had red skin and long, black, sharp claws.
Its fire was amazing, and its name was Goddess. On the way back down from the mountain, they had to walk slowly, because Khaleesi's dragon was only small and little. It slept a lot and had very small wings. The dragon ate a lot of meat for dinner, lunch, and dessert. 1 year later, the dragon was big, strong, and beautiful and powerful. Khaleesi could fly up in the sky. It was an amazing sight from up there.
Then one day, Khaleesi went flying. Khaleesi hit something up in the sky.
It was a man on another dragon. Its name was King, and he was big and strong. King and Goddess liked each other very much. They were playing up high in the sky.
Khaleesi asked, "What's your name?" The man replied, "Tyrone." Then Tyrone asked, "What's your name?" Khaleesi replied, "Khaleesi."
Then Khaleesi and Tyrone fell in a deep love.
Then one day, Tyrone and Khaleesi decided to buy a house together, so they did. 2 months later, Khaleesi's dragon had a baby. Tyrone and Khaleesi bred dragons. They now have 236 dragons. Then they had to buy a palace because of all the dragons. Khaleesi had a child of her own. Tyrone and Khaleesi got married and they lived happily ever after, including the dragons and Khaleesi's child, Jade.
Great story, Shannon. I think we should have some more music. I have picked Sugar by Maroon 5.
Thanks, Nikita. Daniel, would you please read your story now?
Yes, Joel, I will. I called my story The Secret Lair. One cold night there was a man named Hobo. He was a hairy-faced man and very fat. He was hunting in the bush. Hobo tried to catch a grey bunny, and the grey bunny led him to a very secret lair. There was a sign that said King Garfield's very secret lair, and there was a big skull-shaped light on the door.
The door opened and Hobo went inside. The lair was so shiny inside, and strangely, it was ice cream scented. It was a huge, wide room, and Hobo thought it must be the biggest room that ever existed.
Wow, said Hobo. There's lots of gold and diamonds.
Yarrawonga, your
King
first choice
Garfield
for
said,
irrigation.
"Hello,
Water
trespasser.
Dynamics Yarrawonga.
I'm King Garfield, the strongest person that ever existed, and I am filled with noxious evil. So what are you doing here?"
I've come to defeat you. Yeah, with what? Said King Garfield. With my paper powers, said Hobo. Well, guess what powers I have, said King Garfield.
I have all the powers in the world, and I have lightning towers, bodyguards, wizards, and minions. So beat that, trespasser.
I have a name, said Hobo.
What is it?
It's Hobo, said Hobo.
Whatever, said King Garfield. Do you want to have a fight, smash down into the death or not? Let's start this, Hobo. Ready? The fight begins in 3, 2, 1, fight! I'm much stronger than you, Hobo.
Zap! Ouch, that hurts, said Hobo. Well, here comes my paper ball cannon. Bam!
Incoming paperball cannon! Shh! Fireball! Crash!
I'm on fire, said Hobo.
Ah, much better. Any last words, Hobo? Said King Garfield.
No, said Hobo.
Ultimate power move, said King Garfield yelled. Do you want to know what the ultimate power move is?
Is it a ball of lightning and all my other powers combined? Said King Garfield.
Won't that blow up your lair?
Said Hobo.
No, because it's powerproof. Don't shoot it, said Hobo.
Sorry, I have to do it so I can take your salt and powers. Splat! Then Hobo exploded. King Garfield won.
Yippee!
Said King Garfield.
Then King Garfield had a very good life with Hobo's salt and powers, and made a cooler lair, and then he became unstoppable. That's the end.
Great sound effects, Daniel. Okay, Dan, do you have a song picked out for us?
Yes, I do. It's called Wings by Delta Goodrum. I do not choose.
It's time for the story that Joel wrote.
Thank you, Shannon. I've called my story The Most Exciting Game. Balin, Jack, Riley, Joel and I had always dreamed of getting into the NBA. When we were teenagers, we were already playing for the NBL. And that's when Balin and I noticed a sign one day while we were out walking, which said, 5 versus 5 match. Winners get into the NBA. NBL players only.
All 5 of us signed up, and soon enough we were packing our bags to go to America. We got on the plane and we all fell asleep. The huge plane landed and we got out of the plane, and guess who we saw? Our old rivals from the previous year. We had played them in the grand final and they beated us.
And worse, Then we learned that they were the team we'd be playing to get into the NBA.
Well, they weren't going to beat us this time.
We walked to the hotel where we were staying till the game. We went to the gym to train for our game, and then we went to the basketball court to do some more training.
On the day of the big match, to determine who would get into the NBA, we knew we had to give it all we had. We couldn't give up. Our team was called Melbourne United, and their team was called Sydney Kings. We knew the players on the Sydney Kings too. Ronan, Liam, Ash, Jake and Noah. There were only 3 minutes until the game started, and they disappeared quickly.
3, 2, 1. The game has started. The ball went straight up and we got it straight away. Later the score was 9-20, so we were losing.
One of their players came over and said,
"If you want to win, you have to pick up your game," and he laughed.
They passed it in and I stole the ball and shot a goal from the 3-point line.
When the buzzer sounded for half-time, it was neck and neck. The score was 29-30. They had just got us. Before the last quarter, we were losing. I told them we can't give up, and we had to give it our all.
We started with the ball. There was 10 minutes left in the game.
The teams were both working their hardest to get into the NBA.
Soon the score was 98-89. We were finally winning. I went up to the other team and said, "I told you we would win." With 1 minute left, the score was 128-99.
3, 2, 1.
The final siren went. We had won. A few days later, we got into the Cleveland Cavaliers. Hip hip hooray, hip hooray, hip hooray.
Joel loves his basketball. Nikita, would you like to start your story now?
Yes, I would. I have called it the huge trip to the USA. Once there was a cheerleading team that changed everything. Nikita was their all-star cheerleader. Raymond was Nikita's closest friend, but Raymond was a very happy person, but she was worried about the team because everyone kept falling in love. Nikita fell in love with Ryan, Isla fell in love with Seth, Raymond fell in love with Brian, and Kobe fell in love with Adam.
Nikita was 16 and the most skilled cheerleader on the team. Even performing an aerial wasn't hard for her. Raymond was 17 and did calisthenics. She could do most skills too. Isla was only 5. She does gymnastics but can also do forward rolls. Kobe was 3 and he could do cartwheels, which were even harder to do than a forward roll.
They kept their love a secret for a month, and then Nikita could not keep it a secret anymore. She burst into tears. Raymond ran to her and said, "Are you okay?"
Nikita said yes. After comforting Nikita, Raymond checked her watch and said, "Quick, we're going to be late for our plane to the USA." Then Nikita said, "What? We're going to the USA?"
All together, they said as one, "Let's win this thing." And they set off for the airport.
On the plane, they played a game called Spotto. It was a lot of fun. The state they arrived in was Nevada, the city of Las Vegas. They went to the MGM, the Green Casino, and they performed their routine that they have been practicing for the competition.
There were over 500 people crowding around and watching them perform.
After the routine, the boyfriends who had travelled with them to Las Vegas ran up onto the stage and kissed the girls.
The girls slapped them, and all at once they said, "Who do you think you are?"
Later they went to the Grand Canyon because they'd won the cheerleading competition and had $1,000 in prize money. But that wasn't even the price of the least expensive house on the market. Rayma said, "Hello, Texas, here we come."
We are almost out of time, except for our last song today. I hope you enjoy my choice. It is sung by Tori Kelly and called Nobody Love.
Goodbye, everyone. Listen in next time.
Time to go back to school now. Goodbye.
I hope you enjoyed the show once again. See you next time.
Bye from me.
Goodbye, peeps.
Goodbye.
Bye, peeps.
Bye.
And that was the kids from Yering Primary School. Well done, kids. Thank you so much for coming. It was great. With Yarra Valley FM, we're going to go to some more music here.
Station sponsor 40.